You're having an issue with your seed sprouting. Why? There could be a lot of different reasons why your seeds are not sprouting. It depends on variety of the plant. It depends on the age of the seeds. It depends on the heat and the moisture levels in the soil. There is a variety of reasons why your seeds are not sprouting, and I'm going to go over a couple of those reasons in depth today. So the first most common reason why a seed is not sprouting after a long period of time is that it's very likely you have it too deep into the soil, and what has essentially happened is the seed has run out of energy to make it to the surface and it died. So let me explain with some visuals of how deep seeds should go into the soil. Okay, so here we have our pot. And I've got a couple different kinds of seeds here to kind of visualize what could be going on. So I've got a cabbage seed, pepper seeds, a tomato seed, and a gourd seed. And when you're putting your seed into your pot, into your soil, you can't push it down too far. So for this pepper seed, for example, we see how big this seed is here. Now, this seed can only be put into the soil double its length. So this is how big my seed is. This is one seed into the soil, and I made a little mark here. And this is the equivalent of this seed doubled, right? Here, I'll just put 2 for a visual, right? So this seed cannot go below this line. If I push it down further, maybe I push this seed way down here into the middle of the pot, and this is all soil here, this seed is gonna run out of energy to make it to the surface. These seeds only have so much energy in them to grow, and if we push them too far down, they're just gonna die. So for a cabbage seed, in comparison, like look how tiny this cabbage seed is. This seed, let's see, right here, and double that seed size is only to right here, okay? So this is where our pepper could go. This is where our cabbage seed goes. You can see like it's a pretty significant difference. So we don't want to push these seeds too far down into the soil. Something much bigger here, like this gourd seed. All right, here's the length of one gourd seed, and we can double that length here. So this gourd seed can go down this far, right? Just like this. And that is very different compared to our pepper and our cabbage seed. So our pepper seeds are only going like 1/4 of an inch into the soil line. The cabbages are going to be basically half of that even. And our gourd seed is gonna go in about 3/4 of an inch into the soil. Now, you absolutely do not have to use a ruler, a measuring stick, and measure the depth of your seed. If you want to do that for like the first one, just to kind of get an idea of actually how deep something like that is, go ahead for your kind of own education, but you do not need to do this with every single seed that you sow. Once you understand how big your seed is, you're just gonna basically double that in size, and that's how far down it should go into the soil. And if you've had your seeds in a pot for several weeks and your soil temperature is good, it's not dried out, and they're not sprouting, more than likely your seed is just too deep. So bring that up to the top. And even something like lettuce, those seeds are so tiny that those really don't even go into the soil at all. When I do lettuce seeds, I sprinkle those right on top of the soil. I spritz it with squirt bottle and just kind of mist it, and then I tap it down. I'm not pushing them down deep in because those seeds are so small that it's not even necessary to bury them. Other reasons your seeds aren't sprouting is that the soil moisture is not right. If it's dried out on the surface or wherever that seed is, then that seed will also dry out with it and die. If that soil is too wet, then that seed will die because it's oversaturated. So you have to find a good balance of your moisture level. And I like to use the analogy that when you take a kitchen sponge and it's wet and you wring it out, that feeling on that sponge, it's slightly damp, but it's not oversaturated with water, but it's also not very dry, kind of just like that nice in between. That's what your soil should feel like when you're seed starting. And soil temperature also makes a difference, especially for things like peppers. They need to be at a higher soil temp. Peppers would probably do best with a soil temperature around 70 degrees, and you can accomplish that by getting a heat mat underneath your pots. It's not necessary 100% to have a heat mat. If you have a warm location that you can keep your seed tray, that's fine. It also helps to have like a humidity dome over top just to help keep that temperature in. For cool season crops like lettuces, cabbages, beets, rutabagas, kale, anything that grows more in the cold season, the soil temperature can be much lower. It doesn't require you to have any kind of heat mat because those plants typically grow naturally in the cooler seasons anyways. So if you have started seeds and it has been several weeks and they're not germinating, the last thing that you can do to test to see if the seed is good is to take a sample of those seeds, hopefully you didn't use them all, and put them in a paper towel and make that paper towel damp, not over wet, just nice and damp. And then put that paper towel into a plastic baggie. And if those seeds are viable, meaning they're alive, they're healthy seeds, they should germinate within, the normal 5 to 7 day time span. And you'll be able to check that easily by taking that paper towel out of the baggie, opening it up, and checking to see if there's little sprouts coming out of them. If after a week it's not, you can wait another week just to see. But if there's no little sprouts coming out of the seeds, then that is a really good indication that those seeds just are not viable anymore. They're not going to sprout, and you want to go ahead and get new seeds that are fresher. I have tons of videos on my YouTube channel, Bloom and Wilt Garden, all about seed starting. So if you want to get even more in depth on how to start seeds, I definitely recommend you follow me on YouTube and check out those videos. They're in the playlist that is titled New Gardeners Start Here. If you have any other garden questions, please let me know so I can address your questions and point you to resources to get you the help that you need. My name is Lex. I am Lex in the Garden on TikTok, and Bloom and Wilt Gardens on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Make sure to follow me on all the platforms so that we can stay connected no matter where the social media world takes us. Have a great gardening season and keep planting.